Welcome to all. Indra ma'am, Nikita ma'am, please start program.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, Good evening, all. As we all know, we all are here and celebrating 7 days training program based on dimensions of wellness. And today, in day 6, our theme is emotional wellness. In last days, we have learned a lot, and today also we are going to learn. Now, first of all, good evening, respected Dr. Saurabh Jain, Chairman of RFI, Dr. Ashok Gupta, Vice President of RFI, Dr. Priyadarshini Agnihotri, ma'am, North South Board President of RFI, Professor Ajay Jain, Central Board of RFI India. Our today's guest, Dr. Manish Pundik, Head of the Department, School of Computers, IPS Academy, Indore. Dr. Rita Jain, Principal at Choitran College of Professional Study, Indore. And our special guest of the day, it means subject expert, Dr. Mamta Godial and Dr. Urvashi Patoti. And at last, soul of the event, it means all the participants. I welcome you all. I Nikita Sharma, faculty at School of Computer, IPS Academy, Indore, and Vice President of Indore Chapter Research and Innovation Team, Research Foundation of India. I welcome you all on behalf of Research Foundation of India and associated institutes and academics. Now, I'm glad to invite Dr. Ashok Gupta, Vice President of RFI. I would like, sir, to speak few words. I welcome you, sir.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
This is Professor Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta. Nowadays I am in Delhi. Basically I am from Indore. I feel honored to be invited to this 7 days training program. On dimensions of wellness. This program is being conducted from 6 February to 12 February. It is organized by Srimati K.G. Mittal College of Arts and Commerce, Research Foundation of India, JHERF. This program is conducted in association with World Virtual Conference Forum, Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, Indore, St. Paul Institute of Professional Studies, Indore, Vishisht School of Management, Indore, School of Computer Sciences, IPS Academy, Indore, and Jain Divakar Mahavidyalaya, Indore. This program is sponsored by World Federation of Science and Technology, International Research Guide Federation, Academic Research Guide Association, Edu Academy, Urja Counseling and Training Indore, SBPASS Indore. Today is the 6th day. We have discussed earlier on physical wellness, intellectual wellness, environmental wellness, occupational wellness, social wellness. Today we are going to discuss regarding emotional wellness. The expert of the day is Dr. Urvashi Patoti. She is a master trainer and also convener of this program. She will explain in detail the emotional wellness. So, now, first of all, we should know what is emotional wellness. Emotional wellness inspires self-care, relaxation, stress reduction, and the development of inner strength. It is important to be attentive to both positive and negative feelings and be able to understand how to handle these emotions. Emotional wellness also includes the ability to learn and grow from experiences. Emotional health is about how we think and feel. It is about our sense of well-being, our ability to cope with life events, and how we acknowledge our own emotions as well as those of others. It doesn't mean being happy all the time. The emotional wellness affects our health as research has found a link between an upbeat mental state and improved health, including lower blood pressure, reduced risk of heart disease, healthier weight, better blood sugar levels, and longer life. There are few tips for emotional healing such as be yourself, invent yourself, love and be loved, etc. One of my friend, Dr. Patnaik, is working in AIMS New Delhi and also associated with Vimhans New Delhi. As per him, for a lot of people, a much better road is to relate to the emotions rather than trying to control them. Said Dr. Patnaik, it is really important to learn sir, Dr. Mamta Godial ma'am, founder of MED 5, Professor Dr. Rita Jain ma'am, and thanks to Dr. Nikita Sharma and Dr. Indira Dikshit. I would also like to thank coordinator Dr. Seema Agrawal and Professor Yashasvi Dubey, the organizing secretary Dr. Priyanka Chawla, technical and office support Ms. Priyanka Dubey and Mr. Yograj Panchale. Thanks to Saurabh Kumar Jain, our chairman, who has given very warm blessings for this program, and Professor Ajay Jain, President Central India Board, who is the instrumental behind this key program. A special thanks to the core team of Women's Cell of RFI, and thanks to all of you RFI members, dignitaries and participants again. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words. Now, it's my privilege to introduce today's guest, Dr. Manish Pundit, Head of the Department, School of Computers, IPS Academy, Indore. Sir has completed his PhD. Being a HOD, he also worked for the betterment of the society. Sir is the Secretary of Marathi Social Group, who organizes Jatra Fest, where housewives can get a chance to show their talent of cooking, as well may become an entrepreneur. Since Sir is the HOD of Technical Department, he also thinks in a technical way. He motivates and supports students as well as faculties and had developed blood donation app by the associate team. Since sometimes it's quite difficult to go and donate blood for females, by this app, they can choose appropriate date and location. He also started Dan Patra app, where a student can just request and can get e-study material. Sir also started YouTube channel for the department so that the student can ask for online help. And even though 12th standard student can also get help in their difficult topics. Professor Kavita Chaudhary, Professor Bharat Singh and other experienced faculties of the department always being ready for the online help. Sir also brings the concept of IoT and robotics, and due to Sir's positive support, one of our faculty member, Professor Aftab Qureshi, with their student team developed the smart tractor and won prizes at national and international level. Smart tractor do automatic functions like automatic seed sowing, automatic water management, automatic cultivation, automatic pesticide harvesting, and weather information, etc. I would like Sir to enlighten the event. Please, Sir.
Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you, Sir.
So very good evening, all of you. Dr. Saurabh Jain, Chairman RFI. I am audible?
Yes, Sir, audible. Yes, Sir, audible.
Dr. Ashok Gupta, sir, very heart-touching person, Vice President RFI. Dr. Priyadarshini Agnotri ma'am, North-South Board President of RFI. Professor Ajay Jain, Central Board of India RFI. And our मैं केस तो नहीं बोलूंगा because I think ma'am is also agree. Dr. Rita Jain, Principal, Choitram College of Professional Studies, and myself, Dr. Manish Pundit. If you call us guest, तो हमें थोड़ा वैसा लगेगा, but it's okay. Subject expert Dr. Mamta Godial, Dr. Urvashi Patodi, and their participants. It's really privilege for me that I have been invited as a guest in this event. I'm very thankful for this. It's immense pleasure that our department, the School of Computers, IPS Academy, and other colleges and institutes you have associated with RFI and got chance for celebrating this 7-day program. And it's matter of honor that we are associated with RFI, and it's also a matter of honor for the participants that they are getting this opportunity of learning. The theme of 7-day program is Dimensions of Wellness, and totality, we all are here for the 6th day, that is emotional wellness. Really, it's a great point for discussion. Since RFI need no introduction, its performance, several in-house, out-house activities like webinars, seminar, FDP, conferences, training program, etc., etc. For the student, faculties, and researchers and others. As I know about the term emotional wellness, I only think emotional wellness requires the self-care, relaxation, stress reduction, and development of inner strength. It is important to be attentive to both positive and negative feelings. As Dr. Gupta is also told same thing, that how to handle the emotional wellness. My question is that how we can happy to our students, how can happy to our colleagues, how to happy our society, how to happy our family. And as I know, after the complete discussion, we got the answer for same. It's a basic thing that we should have in our relation, either they have personal or social. In fact, I maintain an emotional bond also with my students, with my colleagues, with my seniors. This also, it may be possible, it's a name that the peon, when we call them the peon, they feel that we are somehow fourth class worker. So better be, I expect after this discussion, what good name for them. This is my expectation, this for same. So not but the least, it's a highly emotional intelligence teachers with us to motivate the students, understand the students' behavioral psychological well-being. Definitely, we will learn by a lot by this session, emotional wellness. Sir, this is my only the one question. Should I ask this one question? It may be out of box. Gupta sir? My question is that, should I ask one question? Gupta sir? For your kind permission. Ajay Jain is over here.
Gupta sir, are you there?
Please, sir,
I
please, sir,
just
please,
want
sir.
one answer from this session. It may be the out of box. My question is how to base the emotional attachment or emotional intelligence with the faculty and for the student in this present scenario right now. Once again, thanks to all of you, and thanks Nikita ma'am, thanks all of you. I'm with you. Thank you, Nikita ma'am. You can carry on.
Thank you, sir. Now, I'm happy to invite our other guest, Dr. Rita Jain, Principal of Choitram College of Professional Study, Indore. Ma'am has completed PhD and also has 2 master degree MPhil and MBA. She has achieved 2-star merit certificate as all-rounder player by the government. She also achieved Nai Duniya Naika Award by former Vice President Dr. Chaparwal PADD. She also get award as Sarvashresht Adhyaksh and Shresht Sachiv by Lions Club and Jain Samaj International Federation for helping people. She get prizes for Best Garba Act by Indore Collector and also won championship trophy for table tennis competition at state and national level. She also had a museum at residence for motivating students and to increase ability of learning and understandability. One of your book is also published in international journal as a unit. Ma'am has done research work in London with scientist and planetologist Dr. Smith. This work also admired by e-media at a very big level. I would like ma'am to speak few words. Please, ma'am. Ma'am, you are not audible. Unmute yourself, please. Dr. Rita Jain, ma'am, you are not audible. Kindly unmute yourself. Ajay sir, can we unmute Rita ma'am?
Ma'am, I call her.
Okay, ma'am. At the bottom, yes, ma'am, you are audible. Welcome, ma'am.
थैंक यू सो मच निकिता। आप सबका मैं अभिवादन करती हूँ और आप सबको धन्यवाद देती हूँ, विशेष तौर से RFI को धन्यवाद देती हूँ, जिसके प्रमुख डॉक्टर सौरभ सर और अजय सर, मुझे जो स्नेहिल आमंत्रण दिया है इंदिरा मैडम ने, और आप सब, मैं आप सबका स्नेहिल आमंत्रण को स्वीकार करते हुए आप सबको बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ। RFI वास्तव में इतना अच्छा वर्क कर रहा है कि मैं कहना चाहूंगी कि पास्ट, प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर का अद्भुत संगम है RFI। पास्ट को ध्यान में रखते हुए, प्रेजेंट को क्रियान्वयन करते हुए और फ्यूचर को सुरक्षित कर रहा है। ये वास्तव में समाज हित में, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, टीचर्स के लिए, सभी के लिए, समाज के वर्ग के हर एक व्यक्ति के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण कार्य जो है वो RFI के माध्यम से हो रहा है। क्योंकि मैं अक्सर देखती हूँ कि थोड़े थोड़े दिन में एक कुछ नई योजनाओं को लेकर के, चाहे वो वेबिनार हो, सेमिनार हो, गेस्ट लेक्चर हो, कहीं ना कहीं सबको जोड़ने का पूरी तरह से प्रयास करता है। इसलिए मैं बहुत हृदय से RFI के सभी सदस्यों को, सभी सम्मानीय अतिथि जो आज हमसे जुड़े हैं, जो प्रतिभागी आज हमको सुन रहे हैं, मैं सभी का हृदय से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। दूसरा, आज जो आपका एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण टॉपिक है, सोशल इमोशनल वेलनेस। वास्तव में इमोशनल वेलनेस यदि मैं कहूँ तो आपके हृदय में संवेदनाओं की कुछ बूंदें यदि प्रवाहित होंगी तो निश्चित ही उसके उद्गम से प्रवाहित होने वाली एक नदी होगी। यानी कि आपके अंतरात्मा, आपके अंदर की शक्ति इसी में निहित होती है कि हम क्या अच्छा कर रहे हैं, हम क्या अच्छा दे रहे हैं। हम गुस्से को, बेचैनी को और बहुत सी ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जो हमें पसंद नहीं होती हैं, उन सबको परे रखकर हम यदि क्रिएटिव कुछ हम वर्क कर रहे हैं, जैसा कि RFI कर ही रहा है, तो हम यदि उसमें अपने आप को व्यस्त कर लेते हैं तो इमोशनल वेलनेस का यह सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल होता है। मैं आप सबको पुनः धन्यवाद देती हूँ, आभार देती हूँ और इन पंक्तियों के साथ अपने बात को समाप्त करूंगी कि a nice message written on a balloon which was flying high up in the sky. It is not what is outside but what's inside that takes you to the top. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words. Now, moving ahead, it's my pleasure to introduce our subject expert, Dr. Mamta Godia. Ma'am is a dynamic and versatile personality. She comes over more than 18 years of rich experience in banking and finance. For her commendable work and knowledge in the field of banking industry, she has been awarded with the honorary PhD in banking and finance. She is presently running her own firm with the name Magpie. The vision of Magpie is to uncover the real potential of an individual and achieve the goals. Her work during COVID-19 was appreciated globally, and for this, she was invited in many media houses to spread the positivity around. Ms. Mamta Godyal is an international keynote speaker, great listener, enabler, and is also a health healer with certification in yoga and meditation from MD and IY Delhi. She conducts virtual mind healing sessions. Ma'am is also a social worker and she has led her own team of warriors called MG Warriors. The group of involved in various projects of humanity. The work had been awarded with Rashtriya Gaurav Ratan by National Human Welfare Council Haryana. Apart from this, she is aggressively involved with other NGOs and social services group to uplift the society. She is director of World Association of Women Warrior, an adjudicator at International Excellence Award and IEA Book of World Record, ambassador of DGA, Global Ambassador for Child Abuse Prevention Program, law president at Women Organization Against Crime, honorary member of advisory board at Agragati Education Foundation, advisor at National Council of News and Broadcasting, trustee and director at Non-Violence Foundation, also worked as a national leader for youth program and social media at Pinkish Foundation. Brand ambassador has to Professor of Power and iconic personality with crowns and glories. She is multi-talented and been honored with many awards and titles to honor. To name a few, International Inspiring Woman, Rashtriya Gaurav, Best Woman Performer in Banking, Dr. Sarojini Naidu, International Award, Roll of Honor, Woman of Birth, Global Goodwill Ambassador, Great Warrior of Humanity, Rashtriya Seva Ratan, Books of Peace International Award, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Award. She inspires and represents the potential of millions of other women who make a difference every day. Ma'am, we are eagerly waiting for the session. Please, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nikita, for the introduction.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you so much, Ajayji and RFI, for giving me this honor and this opportunity. I'm really honored and feeling blessed to be in this platform. When we talk about emotional intelligence, it is very much, it is very much emotional subject, you can say, and it is very much near and dear to my heart. And the reason is, we all are, somewhat emotionally, we are touched. And emotions are such things that they can either build you or they can break you. So emotions basically ki journey ye hai when we talk about emotional wellness, and I have also heard 2 questions from sir, and I'll try to answer it. We also have a session again later on by our expert also, but I'll also try to answer your question. But when we say that emotional wellness, it is basically handling our own emotions. So there are 2 kinds of emotions. We have already learned about social wellness. Social wellness is जहाँ पे हम अपने अलावा अपनी surrounding के बारे में, अपने emotion को, कि हमें अपने parents के साथ हमें किस तरीके से रहना है, हमें समाज में किस तरीके से रहना है, कैसे अपने emotions को present करना है, that is social wellness. बट जब हम बात करते हैं हमें हमारे अपने इमोशंस को हैंडल करने के लिए, कि मुझे एंग्री नहीं रहना है, मुझे गुस्से में नहीं आना है, अपने गुस्से को कंट्रोल में लेके आना है, तब मुझे इस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन को किस तरीके से हैंडल करना है. सो आई एम बेसिकली लर्निंग अबाउट माय ओन इमोशंस. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस. आई एम नोइंग अबाउट माई सेल्फ, और अगर मैं अपने बारे में समझ लेती हूँ अपने अच्छे और बुरे इमोशंस को, तो मैं उसके ऊपर काम कर सकती हूँ और मैं अपने डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशंस को हैंडल करने में बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से उनको हैंडल कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट इमोशनल वेलनेस. आज की डेट में इमोशनल वेलनेस जो है, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट IQ, EQ has lot of relevance these days. So पहले हम सिर्फ नॉलेज की बातें करते थे स्कूल में, कॉलेजेस में, जो है सिर्फ हम नॉलेज IQ के ऊपर ही हम फोकस किया करते थे. But these days, generally, corporates are getting, there are lot many attrition. And the main reason, when we have researched, it has found that EQ is one of the main reasons that the attrition is going up and up. And that is why corporates want, the colleges and schools to educate the kids and, the teenagers and the students in college to also learn about the EQ. क्योंकि जब हम लीडरशिप की बात करते हैं तो एक लीडर के अंदर सिर्फ नॉलेज ही नहीं होना चाहिए, उसको ये भी पता होना चाहिए कि मैं अपनी टीम को किस तरीके से हैंडल करूं. क्योंकि अगर वो टीम हैंडल नहीं कर सकता एंड ही इज ओनली अ इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर, अगर वो सिर्फ अपने जो है टारगेट्स को अचीव करना जानता है, बट वो ये नहीं जानता कि मैं अपनी टीम के साथ कैसे आगे बढ़ूं, जो वो आगे जो है प्रमोशंस नहीं दे सकता। तो वहां पे क्या आ जाएगा, वहां पे इमोशंस आपके आ जाएंगे कि हाउ टू डील विद द अदर पीपल आल्सो। सो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस के लिए आज की डेट में नॉलेज जो है वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट है, बट EQ होना अपने आप में, इफ यू वांट टू बी रियली वेरी सक्सेसफुल, इमोशनल क्वेश्चन जो है आपके अंदर होना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट। सो आज की डेट में जब हम व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इमोशनल वेलनेस, कि हमें ये तो पता है कि हमें इमोशनल वेलनेस की बहुत ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगर इफ वी हैव टू प्रोग्रेस इन आवर लाइफ, नॉट ओनली इन प्रोफेशनल लाइफ बट आल्सो इन आवर फैमिली। अक्सर हमने देखा है कि फैमिली के अंदर भी बहुत सारे जो है मन मुटाव हो जाते हैं, एंड द रीजन इज इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस। कहीं ना कहीं हमारे ना इमोशन जो है कहीं ना कहीं वो गुम होते जा रहे हैं। ठीक है, वो पकड़ जो है, जो पहले बहुत मजबूत होती थी, ट्रस्ट होता था, एक दूसरे के अंदर जो है बिलीफ होता था, वो सब कहीं ना कहीं खत्म होते जा रहा है। वो इमोशंस जो है कहीं ना कहीं खत्म होते जा रहे हैं, एंड दोज इमोशंस have उन इमोशंस के ऊपर और कौन हावी हो गए, नेगेटिव इमोशंस लाइक एंगर, like frustration, like anxiety. These are the emotions which are, these are the new emotions which are coming up. और वो इतने ज्यादा बढ़ चुके हैं कि अब जो है हमें उनको कंट्रोल करना इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगर हमें फेलियर मिल जाती है, इफ वी डू एनी मिस्टेक, या मुझे प्रमोशन नहीं मिली, सो जनरली व्हाट हैपेंस इज हम जो है अपने आप को ऐसा महसूस करते हैं कि हमारी लाइफ जो है कहीं ना कहीं खत्म हो गई है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई द सुसाइडल रेट्स आर आल्सो गेटिंग सो मच हाई, सो दोज आर आल्सो इंक्रीजिंग। इफ यू आज की डेट में अगर हम देखें स्कूल के अंदर भी जब एग्जाम्स होते हैं, and when we score less number, at that time also we feel so sad, और वो सैडनेस जो है ना, वो सैडनेस इतनी ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है कि वो डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी का रूप लेने लग जाती है, और हम अपने इमोशंस को ठीक तरीके से हैंडल नहीं कर पाते, हमें समझ नहीं आता किसके साथ बात करें या किस तरीके से हैंडल करें। तो हमने अक्सर जो है ये तो सीखा है कि हमें क्या चीज चाहिए, पर हम ये सीखना भूल गए कि अगर हमें कोई चीज नहीं मिली तो हमें उसको किस तरीके से जो है अपने इमोशंस को कंट्रोल करना है और हमें बैलेंस रखना है। सो द पर्सन हु इज इन अ बैलेंस स्टेट is very much his growth is actually is there, so he will progress in life, और उसको लाइफ में बहुत सारी अचीवमेंट मिलनी निश्चित ही है, क्योंकि अगर एक इमोशनली बैलेंस्ड पर्सन अगर हैप्पी रहता है, his state of mind is happy, so लाइफ में ऑटोमेटिकली चीजें ना फॉल होनी शुरू कर देती, बिकॉज इफ आई एम हैप्पी मेरी सराउंडिंग भी पॉजिटिव होगी, बिकॉज आई एम स्प्रेडिंग पॉजिटिविटी ऑल अराउंड। ठीक है, जब मैं चलती हूँ मैं आई इट इज लाइक अगर मेरे इमोशंस कंट्रोल में है तो मैं अपने एनवायरमेंट को, सोशल वेलनेस भी ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल फॉल इन प्लेस। सो सबसे पहला तो एक क्वेश्चन था जो आया था कि हम अपने फैमिली के साथ कैसे रहें, हम अपने खुश कैसे करें, अपने क्लाइंट को कैसे खुश करें, या अपने बॉस को कैसे खुश करें, या फैकल्टी को कैसे खुश करें, या अपने स्टूडेंट को कैसे खुश करें। The only thing is by balancing all your emotions, by being happy, but it is not important हम जब बोलते कि happy means you have to smile all the time, it is not like that. कई बार हम sad भी होते हैं, but sad से हम डिप्रेशन में ना चले जाएं, ये होता है इमोशनल वेलनेस का काम। सो यू आर सो मच बैलेंस्ड कि आपको वो नीचे नहीं लेके आएगा डिप्रेशन में, या आपके इतने ज्यादा आपके इमोशन बिखर के नहीं रह जाएंगे कि आप गुस्से में आ जाओ, या आप कुछ ऐसा काम कर लो जो कि आप नहीं करना पसंद करोगे। सो इट इज वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट कि आपके इमोशंस कंट्रोल में रहें। सो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू कि आपके इमोशंस कंट्रोल में रहें और बैलेंस में रहें, उसके लिए आई ऑलवेज सजेस्ट दैट यू शुड adopt 3 practices. One is pause. When I say pause, it means कि आप अपनी लाइफ को थोड़ी देर के लिए, it is important for everyone कि अपनी लाइफ को हर 3 महीने में, 6 महीने में कम से कम पॉज दें, समझें कि आपके इमोशंस कहाँ जा रहे हैं। किस तरीके से जा रहे हैं। ओके, सो इसमें मैं एक छोटी सी स्टोरी भी बताती हूँ आपको, इससे आपको शायद अंदाजा हो जाएगा कि मैं क्या कहना चाह रही हूँ पॉज से। सो एक दिन मैं और मेरा बेटा एक्चुअली एक ऑर्फनेज में गए, अनाथालय में गए, एंड वहां पे हमने डोनेशन दिया, और डोनेशन दे के जब हम वापस आ रहे थे तो मेरे बेटे ने अचानक पूछा कि मम्मी, ये डोनेशन देने की जरूरत क्या थी, आपको ऑर्फनेज जाने की जरूरत क्या है, इनको क्या देने की आपको जरूरत है, क्यों इनके बारे में इतना सोच रही है। जब ये बात मैंने सुनी तो मुझे कुछ अच्छा सा नहीं लगा, और मुझे लगा मैं अपने बेटे को किस तरीके से समझाऊं कि अनाथ बच्चों को हम लोग नहीं देखेंगे तो कौन देखेगा। सो इट इज आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि हम उन लोगों के बारे में सोचें और उनके बारे में कहें। बट फिर मैंने उसको ये समझाया, गुस्सा आया, पर मैंने अपने इमोशंस को कंट्रोल रख के समझाया कि बेटे, हमें इन लोगों का ध्यान रखना जरूरी है, क्योंकि हम नहीं रखेंगे तो कौन रखेगा। इसके ऊपर मेरे बेटे ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा मुझसे, एंड वो क्वेश्चन इतना पावरफुल था कि मैं खुद नहीं समझ पाई कि वो क्या कह गया। सो ही सेड, ही आस्क्ड मी, मम्मी, जब आपके भी दिल और दिमाग के अंदर कई ऐसे इमोशंस हैं जो ऑर्फन हैं, मतलब अनाथ हैं, क्या कभी आपने उन इमोशंस के बारे में भी इसी तरीके से सोचा है? क्या आप भी उन इमोशंस को कुछ देना चाहती हो, उनको भी सर्व करना चाहती हो? उस समय मैं चुप हो गई क्योंकि मुझे कुछ ज्यादा समझ में नहीं आया, और जब लाइट्स ऑफ हुई रात को तो मैं समझने लग गई कि इसके पीछे क्या मतलब था। सो मैंने ये समझा कि कुछ इमोशंस मेरे अंदर बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अब मैं फ्रेंड्स के साथ नहीं मिलती हूँ, फैमिली के साथ मुझे डिनर करने का टाइम नहीं मिलता है, हर एक कमरे में अलग अलग टीवी है, हम साथ में खाना नहीं खाते, हम साथ में टीवी नहीं देखते हैं, बात नहीं करते, तो एक तरीके की कम्युनिकेशन गैप है, ट्रस्ट नहीं है, बिलीफ नहीं है। सो दीज आर दी, हैप्पीनेस नहीं है। So these are the emotions which are lacking in my life. So मेरे पास trust नहीं है, belief नहीं है, gratitude नहीं है, happiness नहीं है, and these are the positive emotions जो कि orphan हो गए हैं मेरी लाइफ के अंदर, तो अनाथ हो गए हैं, और उसको मेरी जरूरत है। उसको क्या जरूरत है? मुझे बहुत जरूरत है उनको अपनी लाइफ में लाने के लिए। If I want a very happy and blissful life, I should have these emotions in my life. पर जब मैंने देखा कि मेरी एक्चुअली लाइफ के अंदर है क्या इमोशंस, अगर ये अनाथ हो रखे हैं तो आज की डेट में मेरी लाइफ में कौन से इमोशंस हैं? आई सॉ दैट एंगर इज देयर इन माय लाइफ। आई सॉ कि देयर इज एन इमोशंस जिसको हम कहते हैं कि डिस्ट्रस्ट। ठीक है, सो डिस्ट्रस्ट हो गया, एंगर हो गया, डिप्रेशन हो गया, एंजाइटी हो गया। दीज आर द इमोशंस व्हिच आर देयर इन माय लाइफ, एंड ये मेरी लाइफ के अंदर एक्चुअली में नहीं होने चाहिए। So this is something wherein I think we all should pause and understand कि मेरी लाइफ के अंदर, हमारी हर एक की लाइफ के अंदर कौन से इमोशंस ऐसे हैं जो प्रेजेंट हैं, और कौन से इमोशंस ऐसे हैं जो आपकी लाइफ से एब्सेंट है। और जो एब्सेंट है, क्या वो एक्चुअली में आपकी लाइफ में प्रेजेंट होने चाहिए? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हैप्पीनेस, वो आपकी लाइफ में है ही नहीं, बट एक्चुअली में होना चाहिए। सो अंडरस्टैंड कि कौन से इमोशन आपकी लाइफ में होने चाहिए पर है ही नहीं, और फिर उनके ऊपर काम करना शुरू करिए। अगर आपकी लाइफ में ग्रैटिट्यूड नहीं है तो उसके ऊपर काम करना शुरू कर दीजिए, और आपकी लाइफ के अंदर एंगर है तो उसके ऊपर भी काम करना शुरू कर दीजिए कि कैसे आपकी लाइफ से एब्सेंट हो जाए। सो सबसे पहले इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि अपनी लाइफ के अंदर इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो इंट्रोस्पेक्ट योर लाइफ, अंडरस्टैंड योर सेल्फ कि आपके अंदर कौन कौन से इमोशंस भरे पड़े हैं। एक लिस्ट बनाइए। इफ यू एक्चुअली वांट टू सचमुच अपनी लाइफ को एक अच्छा ब्लिसफुल बनाना चाहते हैं तो एक चार्ट बनाइए, जितने भी इमोशंस आप सोच सकते हैं उसके आगे टिक लगाइए, क्या ये इमोशन मेरी लाइफ में प्रेजेंट है या एब्सेंट है। आपको अपनी लाइफ के बारे में पूरी हिस्ट्री पता चल जाएगी कि क्या है। तो ये डायग्नोसिस है बेसिकली आपके इमोशंस। जब आपने ये डायग्नोसिस कर ली, देन इट्स टाइम टू स्टार्ट। पॉज में आपने इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करा अपनी लाइफ को, देन कम स्टार्ट एंड देन कम स्टॉप। सो स्टार्ट में क्या करना है? आपको कुछ एक्शन प्लान या कुछ प्लानिंग करनी है कि मैं कैसे स्टार्ट करूं नई नई चीजें। सो जब हम बात करते हैं स्टार्ट करने की, तो वर्क ऑन योर इमोशन, यू कैन प्रैक्टिस कैसे आप लेके आ सकते हो अच्छे इमोशंस अपनी लाइफ में. यू कैन प्रैक्टिस ग्रैटिट्यूड. ग्रैटिट्यूड इज अ वेरी पावरफुल टूल, बट अक्सर हमने देखा है, जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल इन द स्कूल्स, हम जब लंच करते हैं, वी से थैंक यू गॉड फॉर द फूड वी, दैट्स इट, खत्म. लेकिन जो है, अगर हम अपनी लाइफ की अच्छी चीजों के बारे में, या जब हम बोल रहे हैं थैंक यू, जस्ट एक्सपीरियंस कि हमने थैंक यू क्यों बोला, क्योंकि उसने कुछ बहुत ही बेहतर और अच्छा काम करा होगा. सो एक्सपीरियंस दैट पर्टिकुलर मोमेंट, एंड व्हेन यू आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग दैट मोमेंट, दैट थैंक यू बिकम्स वेरी पावरफुल. और जब वो पावरफुल बन जाता है, आपके अंदर पॉजिटिव एनर्जी जनरेट होने लग जाती है. And that positive energy also, there are some positive hormones also that also gets filled, और आपकी सराउंडिंग भी पॉजिटिव होने लग जाती है. So experience all your positive, क्या कहते हैं, स्टेट, या जो भी आप काम कर रहे हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू आर फीलिंग सॉरी ऑल्सो, एक्सपीरियंस, क्या आपसे गलत हुआ, एक्सपीरियंस है. तो अपनी चीजों को एक्सपीरियंस, इमोशंस को एक्सपीरियंस करना शुरू कर दीजिए. आपके इमोशंस बहुत पावरफुल हो जाएंगे. बट एट द सेम टाइम, स्टॉप टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल योर बैड मेमोरीज. बैड मेमोरीज को एक्सपीरियंस बार बार मत करिए, क्योंकि जब आप बार बार एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं अपनी बैड मेमोरीज को, तो वो रिपीट होती जाती है, और आपको डीपली जो है वो हर्ट, और अंदर आपकी ब्रेन को मेंटल हेल्थ के अंदर वो इफेक्ट करने लग जाता है. तो इमोशंस कौन से आपको डीपली एक्सपीरियंस करने हैं, वो आपको समझना पड़ेगा. आपको बैड मेमोरीज को, या बैड आपके जो इवेंट्स हैं, उनको एक्सपीरियंस बार बार नहीं करना है. आपको सिर्फ पॉजिटिव जो आपके इवेंट्स हैं, एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, उनको ही डीपली एक्सपीरियंस करना है. देन व्हाट यू कैन डू फॉर अ गुड एंड healthy emotional balanced life, you can start doing some mindful activities. Indulged in the hobbies. कहते हैं कि हम किसी भी बुरी चीज को, मेमोरी को इरेज नहीं कर सकते. द वे हम एक राइट हैंड से जो लिखने वाला है, वो लेफ्ट हैंड से नहीं लिख सकता है. लेकिन अगर वो लेफ्ट हैंड से प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू कर दे और राइट हैंड का बिल्कुल इस्तेमाल ना करे, तो एक दिन ऐसा आ जाएगा कि राइट हैंड को लिखते हुए दिक्कत होगी और लेफ्ट हैंड बहुत फ्लुएंटली लिखेगा. सो यही है, अगर आपको बैड मेमोरीज इरेज करनी है, तो ये बैड मेमोरीज आपकी राइट हैंड हो गई, इसको इस्तेमाल करना बंद कर दीजिए, या बैड इमोशंस को इस्तेमाल करना बंद कर दीजिए, और उसके बदले आप अपने कुछ नए जो है कुछ नई चीजें करना शुरू कर दीजिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जब भी आपको कोई बुरी जो है मेमोरीज आती है याद, तो आप जो है पॉजिटिव फ्रेज लिखना शुरू कर दीजिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मुझे पोएम लिखना पसंद है, तो मैं कुछ पॉजिटिव पोएम्स लिखना शुरू कर दूंगी, ठीक है. या मैं कुछ अच्छे, बहुत ही मोटिवेशनल जो है गाने सुनना शुरू कर दूंगी. सो क्या है, मैं इस तरीके से आई एम बिल्डिंग माई न्यू हैबिट. तो मैं अपने लेफ्ट हैंड, मतलब नई हैबिट को बार बार रिपीट कर रही हूँ, प्रैक्टिस कर रही हूँ, एंड वन डे मैं इतनी अच्छी तरीके से प्रैक्टिस कर लूंगी कि मेरी बैड मेमोरीज को टाइम ही नहीं मिलेगा याद करने का. सो स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग सम न्यू हैबिट्स. ओके, विद दिस start phrasing the positive words in sentences. We always say negative words. ये हमारी आदत होती है, जनरली हम negative words बोलते हैं, जैसे mistakes, failures. Try to phrase it as opportunity to learn. Okay? So नए अच्छे फ्रेज में ये नहीं कर सकता, इसके बदले आप उसको पॉजिटिव तरीके से बोल सकते हैं. किसी को आप डांटने की बजाय भी, आप ये बोलने के बजाय कि ये कितना बुरी तरीके से काम करा है, आप ये भी कह सकते हैं कि ये काम अच्छा है, पर ये बहुत बेहतर हो सकता है अगर इसमें ये चीजें कर दी जाए. सो जैसे एक क्वेश्चन भी आया था, फैकल्टी और स्टूडेंट के बीच में किस तरीके से रिलेशनशिप कर सकता है. तो अक्सर, क्योंकि मैंने भी फैकल्टी का 1 साल तक गेस्ट फैकल्टी की तरह रही हूँ एक कॉलेज में, जिम्स में, तो मैंने ये देखा अक्सर कि हम लोग जो है ना, जर्नली हम लोग दबाव डालते हैं ना, अपना जो है हम पेरेंट वाला, मतलब रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस एंड स्ट्रिक्टनेस, हम ये इम्पोज करने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो डू should not be like this. We should understand first to be understood. So हमें समझना चाहिए. We should respect others. We should be kind enough. Because they do not know about the emotional balance. We know, we are learning, and we have understood also. So we should understand this thing, and we should respect them. Okay. Apart from this, it is very much important for a healthy mind. जैसे कि हम लोग कहते हैं physical body के लिए ये चीजें करनी चाहिए. For a mental wellness and emotional wellness, it is very much important to have a good healthy diet. Healthy diet के अंदर आ जाता है आपका, as I said, gratitude, eating good food, eating healthy drinks, exercise, yoga, meditation, and taking time for yourself. So take time for yourself, with your family, friends. So it is important for you to have an educated sleep and talk to yourself and understand your emotions very well. Stop phrasing the negative words or emotions. Stop talking about your bad memories again and again. It will really hurt you more and more. So we cannot stop any particular emotion like anger, but we can practice an alternative method, and so we can rewire our emotion. So this is how we can do. So I think I have I've tried to answer the question also. In fact, अगर आप पढ़ेंगे 7 habits of a very successful person, उसके अंदर आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर भी दिया हुआ है. एंड ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर जो है वो हैबिट नंबर 3 में दिया हुआ है. आई अंडरस्टैंड फर्स्ट टू बी अंडरस्टूड. तो हम जनरली अंडरस्टैंड नहीं करते हैं. ट्रांजैक्शनल बिहेवियर जो कि हम बोलते हैं ना, एडल्ट, चाइल्ड एंड पेरेंट, हम जनरली पेरेंट वाला बिहेवियर जो है ना इन्फोर्स करते हैं, रीइंफोर्स करते हैं अपनी स्टूडेंट के ऊपर. इंस्टेड जो पेरेंट वाला बिहेवियर इन द सेंस रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन वाला, तो हम इम्पोज करते रहते हैं स्टूडेंट के ऊपर, विच शुड बी लाइक एडल्ट वाला बिहेवियर, विच शुड बी रैशनल एंड फुल ऑफ emotional wellness, with high EQ. So I think this is something which we need to develop, and we need to go through pause, start and stop. Pause is to introspect. Stop is to stop remembering all those memories. Stop praising your negative words, and start is to build all your good habits so that you have a good emotional wellness. So with this, I think I'll summarize, because there is one more session from the expert. So Nikita, over to you. If there are any, I would like to. I would be really happy to answer the question.
Participants, any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Your great and informative session. Thank you, Mamta, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Indira. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now time for the next session.
Thank you so much.
Now time for the next session. In our next session, I welcome to our subject expert, Dr. Urvashi Patodi ma'am. Dr. Urvashi Patodi ma'am, career and guidance counselor and life coach. She is PhD in stress management, MBA in HR and marketing. Ma'am, executive member in Bal Niketan Sangh NGO. Ma'am, senior expert panel team member RFI. Ma'am, please welcome Dr. Urvashi Patodi ma'am.
Thank you, Indira ma'am. Thank you so much for the introduction.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, it's my
Yes, ma'am.
So, good evening, everyone. I would like to start by thanking the team RFI for this opportunity. Thank you so much. All thoughts don't get converted into materialistic things, but all the things that we see around us, they once a thought. Saurabh Jain sir, Ashok Gupta sir, Ajay sir, and all the other members who for organizing workshops, FGPs, training programs, and webinars, and many such programs converted their thoughts into action. And the result is all the success achieved by RFI. Congratulations to them. And helped in improving the quality of life of all the team members, guests, and the participants. Today is the sixth day of training program on the 7 dimensions of wellness. And all the dimensions, that is physical, intellectual, environmental, organizational, occupational, social, emotional, spiritual, all these dimensions are interconnected and work in synergy. So taking care of one dimension supports in taking care of the other. Wellness, if we talk about wellness, it's the act of practicing rituals and habits on a daily basis to enhance all the areas of life so that we can thrive. It's a conscious, consistent, self-directed, evolving process of achieving the higher potential. All these dimensions add up to form a holistic way of living and make us feel fulfilled and satisfied. So today we will be talking about emotional wellness. Emotional wellness refers to enhancing the ability of awareness, understanding, and acceptance of our emotions and feeling, and ability to manage and express them effectively through challenges and stressful situations of life. It helps us to practice mindfulness, which gives clarity, and clarity is power and energy that helps us to take action and achieve the desired goal. Like children have exam stress. They people talk about exam stress, but not all children have the same amount of stress when taking school exam. The pressure is the same. Same pressure of situation that is exam for all children, but something more stress than the other, and it depends on their emotional health. So, if I say stress is equal to pressure over internal strength or wellness, pressure could be a situation or a relationship, it could be financial pressure, it could be change in the work culture, or maybe change in government policy. There is all the stimulus outside us, external environment, which are not in our control. With the increase in this pressure, we say stress increases. Similarly, we say due to the situation, stress increase. Due to change in work culture, stress increase. Change in government policies, stress increase. But we ignore the denominator, that is the wellness, that is the internal strength that is in our control. The wellness aspect, which is in our control or can be in our control if we work on it by being
mindful. Being emotionally well doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time. Rather, it means you are self-aware and able to shift or bounce back when you feel fear, when you feel sad, anger, or stressed or frustrated. You become aware of your feelings, you respond to the situation, but you don't stay there, rather you come back to feeling calm and in control of yourself. That is what emotional wellness is all about. Now, if we talk about emotional distress symptoms, uh, sacrifice or disturbed feelings make us more vulnerable to stress and anxiety. Also leads to more negative thought patterns, and it's a vicious cycle that keeps going on and on and on. So we need to check that we sleep at a particular time, in a fixed period of time, like 6 hours to 7 hours, whatever makes you feel energized is sufficient sleep. It's not like 8 hours sleep is a must or 7 hours sleep is a must. No, it's like how much you feel is making you energized or making you feel active. That's the perfect duration of sleep. Secondly, the eating habits. If you see change in your eating habits, that people who are distressed have eat they eat to suppress or soothe their negative emotions like stress, anger, fear, sadness, loneliness.
इधर नहीं चलेगा मैं तो सब तारों में जाके सुनूं
Hello, is everything okay?
yes ma'am
Change in eating habits shows uh, you are eating either to suppress or soothe your negative emotions like stress, anger, boredom, loneliness, or sadness. And the food people choose to suppress negative emotions are generally junk food. So they have like weight gain and even after eating they don't feel satisfied. They don't feel good, but they eat junk food to suppress their negative emotions. Next is emotional distress that makes us more vulnerable to physical illnesses because it impacts our immune system and also increases inflammation in our body, which is the root cause of many, many serious illnesses. And repeated thoughts of worry leading to anxiety when we are not emotionally healthy or strong, we blame others or the situation for our distress and allow our mind to create negative thoughts, saying it's normal to have such thoughts and it's a domino effect which will keep going on and on. And it consumes all our energy, which was supposed to be utilized to achieve our desired goal. That energy is now consumed by our negative thoughts and emotions. So now we feel tired and drained, and we don't have the energy to do the activities that really interest us also. Even those activities we would like to avoid. Emotionally distressed person find it difficult to focus on work because they are consumed with their own emotions or all the negative thoughts, and they don't perform the task they are supposed to do, or take the decision they have to take, or don't have the clarity of thinking. They are not able to think clearly, and generally they become forgetful. So emotional distress leads to memory problems. And generally, such people avoid socialization, which increases their uh, problem or which makes their problem worse. So, emotional distress uh, push you down or drain all your energy, not letting you do what you want to do or what you think you should be doing. You will target your goals, but you don't work for it. Because you are emotionally disturbed, drained. People make New Year resolutions of losing weight or achieving a target, but they practice it for a month or so, and they just leave that goal. They just go that goal just vanishes. Why? Why that happens? Because of this emotional distress. Now, if you are emotionally strong, emotionally stable, how your life would change? What would be the changes that you can see? Importance of emotional wellness influences how we approach our daily activities. Every decision that we make are governed by our state of mind. So, if all our decisions are governed by our state of mind, and if we are not emotionally strong, then the decisions would not be according to what the situation actually wants it to be. We may not take the correct decision because we are not emotionally strong enough to take the decision, or we are drained and unable to see what can happen, unable to predict the future, and that's why we take wrong decisions. Emotionally balanced people enjoy more fulfilling relationships with people they love and interact with others in a very healthy way because they are mindful. They know how to handle the relationship. They know what is the demand of that relationship. When you are equipped with the skills to manage your emotions, it's easy to connect with others because you can show more empathy and compassion, and you can help handle the arguments and talk in a better way. This impacts your behavior and your actions. Being mindful gives you clarity, and clarity gives you power and energy to take action. It definitely helps in reducing your stress. Let thoughts, feelings, and experiences influence the way you feel about yourself. So, good emotional health helps you feel best in despite the challenges existing in the external world. This boosts your confidence to take correct decisions and take correct actions. Second, a positive outlook makes you feel more energized and helps you focus and think more clearly. Whereas poor emotional health depletes your mental resources and leads to exhaustion. Now, we all believe that what we feel like this fear, anger, frustration are due to the external sources. That is, like somebody said something and you feel disturbed. Your financial crisis is due to the recession. A person, you feel that this person is not my type, or I can't get along with him or her. This thoughts you blame on others about your feeling, about your fear or anger or frustration. But if you see you don't have control on the outside world, you don't have control on somebody else, you don't have control on the market going up and down. You don't have control on someone else who is saying something against you or something that you feel is not right. You don't have control on it, but you have 100% control on your emotions. What we decide to focus on, or the language that we use for ourselves, or the body movement, or the postures that we use, how we use our body. And all these things decide how we feel. That is our focus, our language, and our physiology. So, if I say, what the physiology would look like if a person is stressed or is sad or feeling fearful, can you imagine somebody around you, or maybe you may have seen somebody who was stressed or fearful? Can you describe or imagine the physiology of the person? It's like how is the shoulder of the person? Is it straight or rolled forward? Sitting, rolled forward. And how is the head? How is he looking high or is he looking down? Generally, stressed person look down, not straight. And how do they breathe? They don't breathe full or deep. Rather, they breathe shallow. And the speak, uh, they are not loud or strong. They are slow and hesitant. So, how we use our physiology describes how we feel, and emotions are created by the movement of our body. If we want to change our emotions, what we are feeling, we can do so by changing our physiology, and it takes just 2 minutes to do that. Howard has a study of power postures. They describe this power posture is practiced for 2 minutes can improve or change your emotions then and there. You have more energy, you are more in control of yourself, and you feel that you feel charged, you feel empowered. There is a certain way we use our body uh, with different emotions. If you change your physiology, you will change the way you think, you will change the way you feel, and change the state in which you live. Next, that is important is what should you focus on. If you focus on things that make you fearful or sad, if you are in state of fear, it's because you are focusing on things that make you fearful. Like during pandemic, when we were locked at home and to stay healthy, that's where we had this fear in us. If I catch the virus, or if our loved ones catch the virus, family members, we will listen to news, reading and seeing all the death rates coming up, confirmed cases increasing every day. All these news are more fearful. So, because we focused on it, we kept on listening to news over and over and over again. So, focus is one of the core components that decides how we feel. Because when we focus on something, we make a picture of it in our mind. Also, we feel what we focus on, even if it's not true. Even if it's not true. How many of you have seen horror movies and have felt the fear and even heard some unusual sounds after the movie? You felt that because you focused on it and as if it was happening around you. So, and when you focus on something, your energy flows in that direction. So, if you focus on the negative side of the situation, you won't be able to perform up to the mark and the result will be desired. If you want to change the result or the outcome of any situation, you will have to change the action um, or the behavior. And to change your action or behavior, to change the outcome, you have to change your emotional pattern. And to change that emotional pattern, you have to change your focus from what you don't want to what you want, and from what is missing to what you have, and what you can't control to what you can control. If you change your focus, you change your thoughts, you change your emotions, you change your capability, that is your potential, you change your actions, behavior, you change your outcomes, and you change your beliefs. Next, after physiology, after the focus, the third point is what words or language or what do you say to yourself? All depends on the feeling. As said by Ma'am in the lecture, language gives meaning to what we want to say. When my children ask me what's for dinner, and I say something nutritious versus something delicious. Changing language results in changing meaning, and changing meaning results in changing emotion. So people have negative self-talk, or it's like, oh, it's not gonna work out, or I won't be able to do it, or I'm not good enough for it. Such language demotivates, discourages us to perform the task. If you want to shift your emotional state, you can do that by changing the above two factors, that is your body, or focus on the working physical needs to yourself. If you can think what's the opposite of fear, if you instead of fear, if you want to think the opposite, it will be your confidence or your certainty. So when you are confident or certain, how would your physiology look like? So the negative side, now we see the positive side of it. Your shoulder would be open up, head high, back straight, eyes looking forward and not down. The smile on your face, breathing deeper and clearer voice. This is the physiology of the confident person. And if you are confident, what will you be focusing on? You'll be focusing on be able to do it. Going to be a great day. I'm going to achieve it. All the positive thoughts. And what kind of words or phrases or language will you say to yourself? I can do it. I will make this happen. This confidence will empower you, and these are just the opposite of what limiting beliefs or limiting thoughts or fearful or stressful situations lend us into. So I will say it's not like don't be fearful or don't be sad or don't have this negative emotions. It's not like that. We all fall into negative emotions. We all feel that sadness or fearfulness or that anxiety in us. But what's important is don't stay there. Bounce back by using these three factors, that is your body, your focus, and the working phases. These three tools can energize you if used positively or can drain you if used negatively. Energy to our body comes from what we eat, our diet. Similarly, to build our mental and emotional strength, we have to feed our mind. And there is our mental diet. And our mental diet is the information that we feed our mind, like from newspapers or TV or from friends, family members, relatives, society, or people at workplace, social media, and on and on and on. In today's world, we are almost drowning in information. And since we have so much of information, we need to select the information very correctly, very consciously, very mindfully, that we feed our minds with. Because this information that we feed ourselves gets converted into our thoughts. These thoughts catches our focus, and these thoughts create certain emotions which either increases our capability or reduces it. And this capability or this potential will be reflected in our action or behavior. And accordingly, we get the outcome. This creates or strengthens our belief system. So if you believe you have little capability, then how much effort are you going to put in? Listen. And what outcome will you get in study? Right? And what does it do to your belief system? The mind says, they are telling you, not going to work out. It's a total waste of time. And with this low belief, we create negative thoughts and focus on everything negative. We feel drained or low in energy, right? With no motivation. With this negative emotion, how much potential would you use? Really? And the action would be even less. With this less action behavior, improper behavior works. And what it does for belief system, this results make our belief system stronger and supporting it negatively. It's a chain reaction. And for example, if I say the child gets the information that math is tough and difficult to understand from friends or seniors or something like that, unknowingly say, put in more effort. Math in the next class will be very tough. This information creates thoughts. Will I be able to do that? Will I be able to understand math? Will I be able to pass the exam? And on and on. This creates the feeling of fear for math. So from this unlimited, unknown capability, attention that the child has, he will use very little to understand subject and will not pay attention in the class because he already has this negative thought and would practice math very little. So he won't be able to understand it and he won't practice it. The outcome will be next exam will be less marks, poor performance. This would justify his belief that math is tough and he won't be able to do it. So the next time he sits in the class, his energy will be again reduced. Won't be able to do it. Will sit in with his shoulders slouched, shallow breath, eyes looking down, and face muscles dull, as if unable to understand what is being talking with him. So the result will be even less negatively strengthening his belief. We all have unlimited potential. That is just reflected in our outcomes. It's not wow. Most people don't take justified action, and they don't take justified action because they already have this belief because it's not going to if your information is negative, the thoughts will be negative, the feelings and emotions will be negative, which reducing your capability to take action and will affect your belief system. This is so dangerous that it may make a person feel depressed, limiting belief, or it is poisonous and self-fulfilling and destructive. If this is a chain reaction, can it work the other way? What happens if you provide, if the child is provided with the fresh and healthy piece of information, like if you practice maths regularly, you will improve and would be able to understand and may even find it interesting. This information will create new thought patterns, change in focus, create positive feeling for maths. So the next time he sits in the class, he will try to understand what is being taught. He will be attentive. There will be change in his action. He will try to practice maths, and the outcome will be better. there will be a shift in his feeling, change in his feeling. When you are certain about something, you put in more energy, take stronger action, and the result is good. What does it do to your belief? Mind says, told you can do it. This stimulates your energy and takes you to the next level of your own self. Now, your belief gets stronger and you feel energy. So and you take more stronger action, get better results, and you grow. This is like you get that momentum and motivation to perform better. To change your limiting belief, it's like putting yourself in a cage, come out of it, keep a check on your emotional diet, the source of information that you feed yourself. Generally, people have the habit of looking into the social media first thing in the morning or going through their emails and yeah, all these newspapers or news channels showing all negativity in the world. Instead of that, if you spend half an hour with yourself, either reading something good or maybe motivational book or a religious book or something that makes you feel good, something that energizes you, something a piece of information that makes you feel good about yourself, makes you feel stronger about yourself. First thing in the morning, then your belief or your momentum, you will get that momentum, you will get that motivation to perform for the whole day. So keep a check on your emotional life, the source of information. And to keep your focus and source of information, you should keep your focus on what you want. And this will make you feel accordingly. You will feel motivated, you will feel energized, positive emotions, stay up, and will perform to your optimum level. This will give you the desired result and strengthen your positive belief system. Strategy for emotional strengthening emotional wellness is all about expressing ourselves, being with what is good and what is bad, and everything that comes in between. Certain things that helps in improving emotional wellness. If you divide your 24 hours into 8, 8 hours for your work, 8 hours for your sleep and relaxing yourself, and the remaining 8 hours, that's the most important thing, for your health, hygiene, hobbies, family, friends, and service to the system. Thus, it's always improving there will be a dedicated time for everything that you want to do. You won't have shortage of time. Next is you need to decide your goal. What do you want to achieve? Like it should be a clear, precise goal. And when you make a goal, write down why that goal is important. Like why, reason. Write it down. The answer to why gives you certainty and reason to stick to your goal. Then write down your action plan. Then it should be executed in order to achieve it. Usually, people who want to lose weight, to do so, they move from one fat diet to the another, but with no results. You know why? Because they lack consistent success and certainty. That the diet they are doing will work out. Consistency comes from if you can practice something over your lifetime. But no fat diet can be continued for the lifetime. It's like it's a 6 month diet, it's a 4 month diet, and people generally live it for after doing 1 month or 15 days, and it's not practically possible for them to continue their life. That is what is definitely dedicated and consistent practicing of mindfulness for few minutes every day to become more aware of your thoughts and feelings. Like it can be done through meditation or maybe sitting with yourself for a few minutes can make you emotionally less reactive. You will respond to the situation instead of reacting to the situation. Then practice gratitude as said by all that gratitude for three things every day when you wake up and before going to bed. This develops the habit of positive thinking. You see everything positive in situation. Whatever happens throughout the day, if you recall before going to bed and you try to find out three things that happen good and you feel grateful about it. What you are doing is looking for positive things in your day, in your being. What did you do in your day? And this will support you when the difficult situation comes. You will try to see positivity even in the difficult situation or in the worst situation when you are feeling upset or when you are feeling sad, when you are feeling uneasy because of somebody in front of you. You will try to see something positive even in that particular situation. And this will come from by being grateful for what has happened during the day, recalling it and practicing it every day. Spend time with your friends or family. This is very, very important. It strengthens your support system and you share your emotional experiences with them. When you have a strong support system, even if you feel low, even if you feel sad or stressed or you don't feel good, if you talk to them, you feel good. You automatically start feeling better. Like if you have a child at home who is very young, 2, 3 years old, come running to you, hugging you, or maybe just you came home and the child makes you feel so special. Just that feeling makes release your or one practice that I personally do every single day, I think it really works, is walk with breath counting. Walk with breath counting. When you walk, I go for a walk every day, and when I go for a walk, I consciously inhale, breathe in for 5 steps that I take, and exhale or breathe out for the next 5 steps. Means 5 steps inhaling and 5 steps exhaling. There is equal breathing and breathe out. This helps our mind body work in harmony. Also helps us to be mindful. And when we are mindful, and we are mindful because we focus on the coordination between our breath and our footsteps. This helps in reducing stress and being mindful throughout the day. So statistics over the period of time, you get used to it, and you subconsciously use this in all the activities or all the situations of your life. Exercise. If you are overwhelmed with stress at work or at home, going for a walk or running helps a lot. Also, people play sports like badminton, table tennis, or chess that they enjoy playing. This also helps in reducing stress. Now, emotional wellness it's not just about being aware, mindful. It's a life management system. It's a life management system. And the need of the hour is to emotionally detox ourselves from all the unwanted feeling information that is entering our mind without any filter. Think of it like physical fitness cannot if it is not practiced regularly. Similarly, emotional muscles need to be trained every single day to develop them and to maintain these muscles, so that we can experience fulfillment, joy, and growth in all the areas of life. If you want to evolve, practice your emotional well-being consistently with certainty. Even if you're busy, take out a few minutes for your own self, practice emotional exercises. You'll be emotionally more calmer, mentally more clear, and will have the will to get things done. This will give you a balanced life in all the dimensions. With this, I conclude my session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful session, Urvashi ma'am. After your lecture, we understand the actual importance of emotional wellness in our life. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
I would like to thank also Dr. Saurabh Jain sir, Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta sir, Dr. Ajay Jain sir. I am also thankful to Dr. Manish sir, Dr. Priyadarshini Agnihotri ma'am, the organizing committee of this workshop. I am also thankful to our chief guest, Dr. Manish sir, Dr. Rita Jan ma'am, our subject expert, Dr. Mamta ma'am, and Dr. Patodi ma'am. I am also thankful to our dear participants, both of lectures patiently. Thank you all, thank you so much.
Dr. Gupta sir,
Yes, sir.
सर आपके एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन के बिना कोई कार्यक्रम खत्म नहीं हो सकता सर.
तो दे देते हैं सर, ऐसे क्या नाम है?
I request to Dr. Ashok Gupta sir, please conclude the session, conclude the today's workshop session.
ये
Please welcome.
इंदिरा मैडम को बता रहे था क्या थैंक यू देने लगी हूँ पहले की?
Sir, sorry for that.
कोई बात नहीं, हो जाता है. बड़े बड़े शहरों में छोटी मोटी चीजें होती रहती है. थैंक डॉक्टर ममता गोडियाल मैम and Dr. Urvashi Patodi ma'am. Really wonderful session on emotional wellness. We have seen that there are many ways to improve and maintain good emotional health through your session. I summarize a few tips. Be aware of the emotions and reactions. Express the feelings in appropriate ways. Think before we act, manage stress, strive for balance, take care of physical health, connect with others, and find purpose and meaning. We'll also discuss that when it comes to our physical health, we all know when things are not running at full speed, we feel those nagging aches and pains. We sneeze when we have a cold, and we notice when we are a little more out of breath, then we should be after rushing up the steps. And thanks to those signs, we are able to take action to treat our ailments and improve our physical well-being. But most of us are not quite so tuned into our emotional health. When was the last time we paused to take notice of our emotional well-being? That is the question. Emotional and physical, both health are two sides of same coin. And caring for our emotional well-being is vital if we are to live each day with positivity and intention. So, how do we know if you are emotionally healthy? How we can say that we are emotionally healthy? So, both the experts explained science of emotional wellness that we may like to consider. It is unusual to show all of them all the time, don't worry if you feel stronger in some areas than others. Use them to guide your own journey towards improved emotional health. It may be you're comfortable with who you are, feeling generally content with life and liking who you are as a person are signs that your emotional health is in balance. Of course, it doesn't mean that you are happy all the time, so that there are things you might like to improve upon. But having positive self-talk helps us to feel comfortable being ourselves, whatever the situation. As Dr. Patodi said rightly. We are adaptable and resilient. Being able to recognize and express our emotions is key to moving forward when things don't go to plan. This self-awareness helps us to manage our emotions and avoid emotional drama. Emotional healthy people are open-minded and don't feel emotionally attached to a particular way of doing things. They don't take themselves too seriously, which helps them avoid feeling emotionally overwhelmed. We must be positive in relationships with the people in our life. The social aspects of emotional intelligence, as Dr. Urvashi rightly said, is central to emotional wellness. Being able to communicate our own feelings and empathize with the feelings of others is an important characteristic of emotional health. This isn't always easy, but having a strong support network to help through the difficult times is a great sign and source of emotional wellness. We must have sense of purpose and we should take care of our physical health also. And of course, we should be comfortable to saying no in a situation which we are not convinced. We should make our time to relax. So emotionally healthy people recognize the need to recharge their batteries and make time to relax and reflect. Whether it is meditation, spending time with friends, painting, gardening, playing a musical instrument, or caring for a pet, try to find an activity to enjoy that creates a sense of inner peace. So this was a wonderful session. Thanks a lot for this beautiful session. I again thanks to experts Dr. Mamta Godial and Dr. Urvashi Patodi a lot from the RFI. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Your precious words, sir, and please forgive me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ashok sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Urvashi ma'am. Thank you, Mamta ma'am. And today's all guest, Rita Jain ma'am, Pudlik sir. Thank you so much, all of you. And at last, all participants, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.